The first count is first-degree intentional homicide. This is a Class A felony, and if convicted, he shall be sentenced to imprisonment for life. Count 2 is a second count of first-degree intentional homicide with the exact same maximum punishment.
Now for what's trending in true crime, this is a horrifying case in Wisconsin where 17-year-old Nikita Casap has been charged with the murder of his mother and his stepfather. According to authorities, he shot his parents in their home back on February 11th, but their bodies suffered severe decomposition and they were not found until February 28th. During a wellness check, court documents saying that Casap kept his parents' bodies in a room covered up in blankets all that time. He's also seen on a home security camera showing off the body of his deceased stepfather. Casap made his first appearance in court last week. He's facing 9 criminal charges, 2 of which are first-degree intentional homicide. Our question this morning, what might have been his motive to allegedly murder his parents? Let's bring in our power panel. Still with me, attorneys Don Malarczyk and Mario Gallucci. And I want to welcome in psychology expert. She's also an expert in the area of parenting and family relationships, Dr. Sue Kornbluth. Dr. Sue, would you start us off, please? What did you think when you heard about this young man?
Well, first of all, I was horrified. Then I went to learn some more information about why this was occurring, and I couldn't find so much, Julie, on what the family relationship was like, although I can suspect that there was some kind of trauma or abuse going on. The other thing that is interesting here is it seems that he was brainwashed in relating to this Russian man, right? We heard that in the news, that he wanted to move to Ukraine and that he wanted to have a new life there away from his parents, which is very interesting. Though I see that there's some premeditation here. And you know what's so interesting? You brought up before that he covered his parents in blankets. And that is very common when you kill a family member. When you have some kind of emotional connection to the family member, you often will cover them in blankets to represent that you do have a little remorse, as far as a killer can have remorse.
That's fascinating insight, Dr. Sue. Wondered about that. What would be the purpose, trying to keep them warm after they're deceased? It makes no sense, but that makes sense. Thank you for that. Don Malarczyk, let me go to you next. Nikita Casap, 17 years old, in a world of trouble. Your thoughts as you hear about this case?
Well, this is just really a horrific, tragic case. 17 years old, killing his mother and stepfather. It's awful. It's almost unfathomable. But, if I'm a part of his defense team, what I would do is bring in someone like Dr. Sue, get in a psychiatric evaluation, complete psychological workup, get all his school records, start looking at any family issues, go back 3 generations, look for mental health issues, look for any potential trauma, and try to make sense really of the unfathomable. This isn't really a whodunit. What the question is why? And it's going to take a lot of testing, a lot of time, a lot of experts really digging into this kid's psyche to try to even attempt to come up with some answers.
Most definitely. Great points, Don. Mario Gallucci, last but not least on this case, I want your thoughts, please.
I completely agree with Don. This kid is, and he shows no remorse, which is unbelievable to me. The consciousness of guilt portion of this, where he already has his exit plan to escape to Ukraine, to get away with it. But the videotaping of his parents decomposing, to me, is very troubling. That indicates to me that he suffers from an absolute mental disease, a defect somewhere along the line. And we need to get those records. We need to get him evaluated by a doctor. We need to get all the psychiatric reports, and then we need to, maybe resolve this case with a plea and not take it to trial. This is horrific.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Mario. Thank you for that.